When sales slows down, so many business owners give discount after discount after discount until nothing is left for them. But that's not the best strategy. Let me show you another one. Like, I'm 10 years in business now. I started with 27 as a digital strategy consultant and then shifted into a role based on my experience with technology and computers and networks and IT forensics that I became a chief information security officer. So I'm happy to share my experience in the real B2B world. So this video might not be interesting for you if you sell to customers, if you're in retail or in drop shipping or something like that. But if you have the skills and you have a registered company and you want to work with startups, with small businesses, with mid-sized ones, or with the corporates, and you want to create offers for them and have a decent pricing strategy, this is the video for you. A little disclaimer, this is not a quick fix. This is a little journey I will guide you through, because you need the research part and you need the deeper understanding for your financials, so you can also go very confident into the negotiations with your clients and build the better offers in the end. And there are different perspectives to have a look at pricing and your money, your revenue targets. The first I want you to do is that you sit down and you do a real honest calculation of your monthly costs. Not just what you pay for rent and food and all the basics, but really from an entrepreneur perspective, also all the additional costs you have for your business, your backup money, also the insurances you pay, your retirement fund. And you also need to have a margin, there's some risk coming with entrepreneurship, and you should have a margin on what you sell, no matter if it's a product or a service, but you want to make money with it and you want to make more than an employee. So to get a good list for the start, you can have a look at what big corporates, big global corporates normally pay to their employees, and also the benefits they give them. And then you can roughly calculate how much that worth is, so that you always have more than an employee at the same status. That's important. This is entrepreneurship should also be fun. And especially when we set our targets, all these things should be included. Also super important, this is not the calculation you would ever give to a client. This is not what you bring to a pricing negotiation. You never say, yeah, but I have to pay rent and this is that an amount and this is why I want you to pay me for that. This is not what we do. You want to be paid for your skills. You don't want to be paid like a charity thing, like somebody covering your monthly costs. This is not the way we go. And in this video, we calculate your time for money pricing, in consulting or when you do a service for a company. If you want me to do another video on software and membership and course and SaaS pricing, we can have that as well. But here we focus on the time for money part, because actually I think everybody should do it. It's a good beginning for every kind of pricing strategy. The next step actually looks like a corporate application process. So you have a look, for example, on LinkedIn or any other job site, what jobs there are where corporates are hiring for with your skills, with your experience, with all the knowledge you have. What would be the job title that you would apply for at these global corporations? Have a look at that. And you can also discuss that with ChatGPT. Don't put in any sensitive information, but you can also use the job match function on LinkedIn. When you go there through the different job applications, you can see that they match your skills if you put the keywords on your LinkedIn profile. And that can be very helpful to give you an idea, what is my worth on the job market at the moment? What are the companies searching for? And this is super interesting, and it builds your confidence and it gives you more insights, maybe also where you know a lot more than you thought, or have some gaps, maybe when it's about AI usage nowadays, so that you can work with something that can build a strategy around your skills and around what you bring to the market. And very often with these job advertisements, you also immediately see the pay range, or you can do some research on the payment level that would be the one for you in your location, for example. And the rough calculation for everybody being self-employed, having an own business, just for you as a person, leaving your employees at the side for the moment, but just for you as a person, it should be double of what the gross income for an employee at a big corporation at the same level with the same job title would be. Quite easy to calculate. And then, of course, if you have some people supporting you, if you have employees, if you have freelancers, if you're renting an office, if you're, offering more than just one person working time for money, then you also have to add up this additional services from a client's perspective into your pricing calculation. But like for the simple time for money consulting part, you yourself as a person calculate as a target revenue with double of what the annual gross salary for an employee at a big corporation with the same experience, with the same knowledge, at the same job level would be. Then you are at the good level for further calculations and further product design also. Now that we have a clear number, we can break it down, and we use European metrics because it's easier for me. Cost of living is different, but mostly higher in the US either way. And when you're somewhere else on this planet and remote work is an option, you will compete with one or the other market either way. So like you can also use those numbers. So when you calculate as an employer in Europe, and this is very painful from the money side, you will first of all take out the 6 weeks of paid holidays, at least in Middle Europe. And then, because you're smart, you will also calculate with another 6 weeks of sick leaves and further education. And you might have some fancy team meetings where people are also traveling around and like are not really doing their job, but like socializing with colleagues. What's also cool, what's also part of business, but they're not so productive at that time. So what you actually calculate with is 40 weeks of work every year. And this is what I would recommend to you as a business owner as well, not just because like if somebody from your team gets sick, like you will not panic, but also like for yourself that there are also like sales ups and downs or clients on holidays or whatever. So you might not sell out 52 weeks every single year. And that will stress you a lot when you calculate with 52 weeks. Better calculate with 40 weeks. And then example calculation. So there will be a senior, maybe IT leader role at a global corporation. And in Europe, that will be paid around 250,000 euros gross salary every year. So from a business owner perspective, just for yourself, that will be a gross sales target of 500,000 euros a year, so that we have a number. And this is a little below my own calculation, but that will make per week, when we calculate 40 weeks, 12,500 euros. And if you stay with this video until now, I offer 5 of you business owners, not individuals. This is not for individuals, it's not for private person. This is for business owners. I will work with 5 of you on your business strategy and give you feedback in individual virtual coaching sessions. So if you want that, have a look at the link in my channel description. And for everybody else, stay with me, because now we have to create the offers around this pricing strategy. Like, keep in mind, we want to make 500,000, in this case euros, every year, and we break it down to 40 weeks and 12,500 euros every single week. And we need to create something we can offer to our big fish clients now. What you want to do, you want to create offers that like are multiples of this, what you want to do weekly. Like, you actually don't want to have a 12,500 euros offer. You want to have 25,000, 50,000, maybe a 150,000 offer, so that you somehow cover different weeks and a lot of them with one client. And like, you maybe also have an ongoing project, or you have a returning position at that company, or anything long-term, how you work together with. Because I recommend to every business owner to have this long-term offer, medium-term offers, and short-term offers. And in this case, we are building your long-term, long sales funnel offer. What might take you a bit of time and more work with the clients, but will also help your business to have like a solid baseline for growth. And then you can like cut out different parts for your medium term and for your short term offers with like also different pricing strategies, then there you can also go into like scalability and give discounts and work with codes and whatever. But like you should have first the baseline of your long-term, long sales funnel offer with like the big fish clients that's depending on your skills, your knowledge, and also your confidence, what we've built during the research part in the beginning. And plot twist, the easiest way to build this big fish offer is to go back to the job descriptions from the beginning and have a look what companies would hire people for, because they are much more likely in the meantime that instead of getting somebody on the payroll, they're getting an invoice from another business, especially if you meet their like compliance and procurement terms. So have a look at that, like at the fine print. That's so important. But if you meet that, they will be so happy to hire you. Maybe also not full-time, because they might not need a full-time person, but they might need your specific background and knowledge. And then you can go back to this more corporate side to get your first clients and tell them, okay, I can't bring you full-time employee, but I can bring you me, myself, and I, maybe with like the support of 5-6 more people doing decent things. And I also know how to use AI to be more efficient, or I can teach it like in this specific area of knowledge to your employees as well. And then you have a good path to create your first offer, and you already have a list of companies you can call and you can ask for feedback and if they have the need for your offers. And this way you also create a lead list, like put 100 companies on the list that might have the need for your specific offer, and try to contact them on LinkedIn, email them, call them, like try to make contact with those companies and stay persistent. And then happy growing.